All right, everybody. So the Padres, they have signed a new starting pitcher. It's not Johnny Cueto, as we know of yet. They are still vying for him. But the next guy, Wilmer Font, he used to pitch in the big leagues. He had some big league experience, most recently with the Toronto Blue Jays. Then he was with the New York Mets. Spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. He was also in the majors for a little bit with the Texas Rangers. That's the team that he was first in an organization, in a big league organization with. But he spent the last 2 seasons overseas in Korea. So AJ Preller going overseas to get another arm. He's done that in the past. He did that this past off season, getting Robert Suarez. Obviously, did that with some other guys on the team like Ha-Sung Kim. This past season as a starting pitcher, so I guess this is someone that you can put in that starting pitching category as another starting pitching option. Now, I wouldn't think that he would make the roster out of spring training. He seems more like of a El Paso guy, just as kind of in that Ryan Weathers, Pedro Avila category. You just see if he'll perform at AAA and stay healthy, then maybe he makes some starts, or you have him as a swing man at some point in the bullpen if some injuries happen. But it's just another arm for the Padres. So you can't like knock this move, right? It's depth. 2022, he had a 2.69 ERA, 184 innings, 28 starts, 28 appearances, 28 starts. So he was able to stay healthy, it seems like. And then if you go back to 2021, he had a 3.46 ERA, 25 starts, 145 in 2/3 innings. So these last couple years, he has shown that he can stay healthy as a starting pitcher in Korea. According to MLB Trade Rumors, he had a 24.5 strikeout rate against a terrific 5.9% walk rate. Not walking guys, striking out guys. His average velocity on his fastball, about 95 miles an hour. His last big league season in 2020, excuse me. That's when the velocity was the 95 miles per hour. That's what MLB Trade Rumors. That's where they're getting that velocity from. He also induced grounders at 53%. That was his ground ball rate, 53% during his time in the KBO, which was um, most recently these last couple years. Nick Martinez served as that swing man for the Padres, right? He started in the rotation, then went to the bullpen. Um, they're hoping, right? The Padres, they're hoping he can get the 4 spot or the 5 spot. Seth Lugo can be 4-5. And so if that's what the Padres are hoping for, maybe Wilmer Font can take on the Nick Martinez role. Although I kind of see Seth Lugo ending up in the bullpen at some point and filling the Nick Martinez role from this past season. He just hasn't made starts consistently since 2017. So maybe it works out to begin the season and he's in the rotation. Maybe it works out for the majority of the season. But I think at some point, the Padres are going to move him to the bullpen. Maybe it's for multiple innings and you piggyback with someone. Right now, I don't think that he's going to work the whole season in the rotation. I'm not saying that he won't start a postseason game if the Padres get there. Obviously, that's the expectation as the Padres get to the postseason. But I hope that either Wilmer Font he can be a pleasant surprise to Padres fans that don't know who this guy is, and he can end up starting games for the Padres this year and pitching well in them, or they go get Johnny Cueto and they just keep adding arms. Like you can't have enough arms, right? So if you look at the Padres depth chart right now, and this is their major league roster, so you can add Font. I'm not saying Font's going to make the big league team, but you can add him to this group of pitchers that are fighting for roster spots, right? We know Hader, Suarez, Garcia, Pomerantz, Hill, Wilson, they're making the roster. We know Jose Lopez is going to make the roster. I would think that Chris Matt or Poppin would make the roster. How many relievers is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a lot. That's 10 relievers. So usually it's 13 and 13. So 13 position players, 13 pitchers is what I mean by that. So usually you got 8 relievers, 5 starters. Maybe if they go a six-man to start the season, maybe it's six starters and then it's seven relievers. So I don't see Font making the roster right out of the gate. But the good news is this is more depth, right? If you look at, let me scroll up here, look at the 40-man roster here. Um, let's see here. So there's a lot more names, obviously. Pedro Avila, Michelle Baez. Like these are guys that will be along with Font competing for roster spots and competing for, I guess, uh, confidence from the Padres coaching staff and front office. Like if injuries happen, okay, who's going to be brought into the major league roster? If someone's not performing, who's getting called up? So Chris Matt Castillo, Tom Cosgrove, Jay Groom, Ray Kerr, Reese Kinnear, Jose Lopez is Rule 5, so he's going to be on the roster. I would think Morahone will be on the roster as well. Uh, Poppin, those are Weathers, right? Those he's going to be in that group of guys that are fighting for positioning to get on the roster at some point in 2023. So that's pretty much the video. Wilmer Font, a minor league deal with the San Diego Padres, according to MLB trade rumors. He will be invited to Major League Spring Training and compete for a roster spot. You can give your thoughts in the comments on this move. If you want Johnny Cueto, do you not want Johnny Cueto? Let me know. Thanks for watching.